I have an Irish tune for you today because of course it's St Patrick's Day. One of my favourite polkas, which I just know as being called Gan Aimn, which means without a name, and I know it from playing in sessions and at ceilidhs and things like that. We're going to be in A major, and we're going to be using a pentatonic scale, which is a scale with 5 notes, and it gets used a lot in traditional Irish music and also some Scottish music. So it's a really good scale to get used to playing and listening to, especially if you're learning to play by ear. So your pentatonic scale is going to start on an A, you have a B, a C sharp, an E, an F sharp, and a top A to finish off. And come back down, F sharp, E, C sharp, B, and A. So these are going to be in the PDF at the bottom of this video. So I would take a moment to get used to that scale. A, B, C sharp, E, F sharp, A. Excellent. So once you've got used to that, I'm going to add a couple of notes in because our tune actually goes lower than the A that we started on. So this time, same scale, but you're going to start on the E below the A and play the E, F sharp, and then back into the scale we already did. And then extend down, F sharp, E. So again, take a few moments to get used to doing that pattern. And then the third variation on that is that we're going to do those notes again, but starting on the A, going down to the F sharp and E, and then back up again to the top of the scale and back down. So that will sound like this. That gives you the range of the tune, but it also gives you kind of the shape of the beginning of the tune. So take a few moments to play those variations round, get them really familiar, and that's going to make learning the rest of the tune much quicker. Okay, so we're now into the A section of our tune, and that's going to start with the pattern of the scale that I had you play, going from the A down to the F sharp E, and up the scale to the E, top E. So your range here is going to start on the A, down to the E, and then back up to the E. Do it a couple of times slower. So I'm going to call that the kind of the standard version of our first phrase for reasons that will become apparent a little bit later. So it's kind of gone down the dip and up the scale. And our second phrase is going to go down the scale from top F sharp to the A, back up to the B, and down to the F sharp. So it's kind of a scale down but with a little zigzag in the middle around the A and the B. Again, I'll do that much slower so you can see. And that's going to be the standard version of our second phrase. So far we have So again, take a few minutes to get used to those patterns. The second half of the A music uses those two phrases as a basis. So I'm going to say that our next phrase is the same as the first phrase, but it's kind of a fancy version of it. So in our fancier version, instead of playing a long A, you're going to play A, B, A. So again, I'll do that a little bit slower. So you get A, B, A, F sharp. So that's the fancy version of the first phrase. And the second phrase, our fancier version of that, it's the same shape, but instead of going down to an F sharp as you did the first time, you're just going to stay on the A at the end. So our fancier versions. So that's the entire A section, and I'm going to just put that together so you can hear it in context. I'll do a very slow version and then a slightly faster version. Ever so slightly faster version. And that's the whole of the A section. As you can tell, it moves completely by step around our pentatonic scale. Yeah, play it around a few times, see how you get on. Okay, we're now into the B section, and our B section starts out, I'm going to do a demo of it first before I break it down for you, starting on a top F sharp though. So you're going to go from your F sharp down the pentatonic scale to your C sharp and back up. So your notes are F sharp, E, C sharp, and back up. And from there, adding an E, A on to the end. So. One more time. So that's your first phrase of the B section. The second phrase is going to go from that top A down the scale to the bottom F sharp. So I'll do that one more time. It's just the notes of the pentatonic scale. So far in the B section we have and from there you get to do the fancy version of phrase 1 from the A music. And the fancy version of the second phrase from the A music rather. So you kind of get your money's worth out of that A music phrase. So the whole of the B music. more time, very slowly. And that gives you the A sections and the B sections of our tune. I'm going to do another video that is both of them together and just looped round, and just give it a try, but each section a few times before you try putting it together. Give it a go.